Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Animal Alliance Asia, and there are a couple ways you can help me help them help the animals. First, go check out their website. I just posted a link in my chat. There's also a link in the Twitch About section or YouTube description for this video, depending on which version you're watching right now. You can go there and make a donation. You can also just learn more about them and what they do to help animals. Another way you can help involves no money whatsoever on your part. Just bring your friends to my streams to help get my unique viewers count up, because I'll be making a donation based on that number at the end of the month. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for illustration. We're back to normal work schedule, normal streaming content after last week's awesome, epic Suikoden launch party. And I wanted to work more on my bees onomatopoeia piece. I keep putting it off because I want to make pieces that are 100% complete within a month in order to send them to my patrons, but that means this bees piece keeps getting put off, and it's taking months and months and months, but not months and months of work. It's just that it keeps getting put off to do these smaller, faster pieces. So, for my Patreon rewards this month, I'm going to send a work in progress, which I've done before, and I think it's pretty cool because then patrons receive step 1, step 2, step 3, and then they can see it come to life with their physical rewards that they receive each month. And that way I can stay focused on this piece and not get distracted and waste time each time I come back to it trying to remember what I was doing. It's sort of like building steam back up. So I don't want to do that anymore with this piece because I've been doing that so long. Oh, I didn't put it back away in here. I've got to go find it. This is my storage folder, and it's empty. I've got to find where I put the pieces for this. Oh, I didn't put them. I hung them up on my cork board. They're all ready to go right here. There we go. So that's why they weren't put away. I never took them off of the clipboard from yesterday. I just hung them up on my corkboard. Okay, that means I can just put this file folder away. Although while I'm at it, this is my idea book for this project because it's such a big project. It is the biggest project I have ever worked on. And it's not even, I don't even think it's halfway done. I'm going to store this in here. And that way it's together. I don't think, I gotta remind myself, I think this is for my griffin pieces. Okay, so this is different. Alright. I like having as much stuff consolidated as possible, then that way when I'm gonna work on this project, it's all in one folder. Alright. Let's review, because it has been a little while since the last time I worked on this, because I had a rest week, and then it was Suikoden launch party week. So we've had 2 weeks off from this. Let's see what I was doing. I think I had, this is my larger composition sketch, and I believe I was using it, so I had it clipped onto this clipboard so I could set it up ways to look at for reference, setting it up here. Wow. Alright, I had my SpongeBob holding it up. Yeah, I'll move the camera so you can see. I have my little SpongeBob burger mobile holding, keeping this from falling. So with the tertiary camera you can see this is what I'm looking at. In fact, I might leave tertiary camera on it. It's hard to, I gotta have it really far away. Maybe I won't. For now I will. Alright, let's bring this camera back. So I also had these sketches available for me to look at. These are my the process of chibifying the bees. This was my map of their wings. They have 2 top wings and 2 bottom wings each, and they generally follow this same pattern. So I've got that. This I was looking at for the antenna. So there's 10 segments here, at least that's what I counted. Something that looks kind of like a joint and then a long bit at the end. Oh, I also have the segments for the legs numbered out too. And these were just the rest of the sketches that I did in preparation for figuring out how to draw bees. Well, specifically the Hunt's bumblebee, which is one of, if not my favorite bee. So cute. There is one that I see more rarely that might be even more my favorite, but it's so rare. Okay, this was my brainstorming sheet, so I probably don't need this one anymore. These are all my thumbnail sketches. Oh, here's more regular sketches. I'll put this, these are all out of order, but I'll just put this back. I don't need that first one. I don't need these either, so I'm going back to. I'm gonna have to rearrange this stuff later. Here it is. This is the piece I was working on. And I remember I was drawing it upside down to get, it just didn't feel like I could draw it the way I wanted, drawing it upside up, so I drew it upside down. Sorry you can't like see it at all because of that blue pencil. That's the whole point though. Okay, so and get my blue pencil out. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little drink of water too before I really get into it. Got my lovely Smile Bear water bottle. Oh shoot, I just realized I didn't actually move my mic over here. I made sure it was working today. It wasn't connected for some reason. Okay, I'm just moving this. I don't know why it does that every so often. It's just like, I don't know where the mic is. But it's plugged in like it's ever been. I have not unplugged it or changed it or anything. But, haha, I just noticed it wasn't around. So, now I am closer to the mic and hopefully you can hear me better. Oh, my main camera doesn't focus because it can't see these lines, so it's like, I don't know, there's nothing there, I can't focus. Oh well. Alright, what I need to do is get out my colored pencil, mechanical pencil. It's the Pilot Color Eno. They've got lots of other colors. This is a 0.7. I don't know if it comes in any smaller than that, but I like this one because it's the light blue, which is really hard for scanners to pick up, which is good because then you can ink directly on here, not worry about erasing, scan it in, and then you can just digitally take the rest of the blue out. It's really nice. But that's also why the camera cannot handle, it can't handle this scene. It's like, there's nothing here. I'm looking at nothing. Alright. No, stop flying away, thingy. I need a bigger clipboard for this. I don't have a clipboard big enough for this, so it has to just be on the table directly, but that means it keeps getting a little pocket of air under it and then going shoo because my table is angled Okay, so I'm gonna just set these bee sketches to the side for me to pick up and look at if I need them. But what I really want to see, oh, you know what? Okay, the stuff I don't need, I'm gonna put in that black folder. I'm a little organizing here in my workspace so that I can not be distracted by stuff that I don't need anymore. So all of these can now go into the bees section of the folder. And it goes. And then of these sketches, I don't need this one. I don't need that one. Nope. 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 I knew there was two stuck together here. Okay, don't need that one. This one I did want just in case. So I mapped out the wings all careful like. Yes, then I do want this one. And then this one has the little numbering for the parts of the legs and the antenna. So you might want that too. So these three I'm keeping out, but the rest I'm done with now, so they can go in here. There. So what I have on this sketch, I've got the two bees in place, and I think what I ended up doing was making sure I have a little bit of space for the bleed, because when this is published in book form someday, you have to leave a little bit of room around the edges just in case. And so I think I've got everything important within what I hope to be a generous margin. So next, I think what I was trying to decide before, I don't remember if I came to a decision, is should I draw the flowers first and then draw the bees? And okay, it's hard to say it out loud in words. There's two ways I can go about this. One, I could draw the flowers first, then draw the bees on top, then erase away the flowers that the bees are covering. Or, second option, I could draw the bees first, then draw the flowers to match the bees, especially the flowers where bees are on them. Then there wouldn't be any erasing. The positive of number one, option number one, is that by having the flowers first, I have the environment there, and then I just place the bees in the environment. But the negative is I have to do erasing. It might be hard to draw the bees because there's already so many lines from the flowers, and it's really distracting and hard to tell what's what. Like, what should I erase or anything like that. And then for option two, the positive is none of that erasing stuff. The bees will be drawn clearly, and then the flowers will just meet up with them. The lines for the flowers will meet up with them. But the negative is it's harder to draw the flowers to match the bees than it is to have the flowers be this space and then just pop the bees into the space. But it's probably not that hard. It's not as hard as I'm making it out, I think, because there's only a few flowers where bees are actually interacting. One here, one here. I think that might be it, actually. Because all of these, that's right, I didn't want too many with bees on them, because the bees have to be flying in order to make the buzz buzz sound, and the buzz buzz sound is the whole point of this. So yeah. Let's just draw the bees first, I think that'll be easier, and then the negative, the downside of it, is not even necessarily going to be a problem. I just have to be a little more conscious and careful when drawing the flowers. For instance, just this one and this one is all I see. Oh, those are the only ones I see with bees on them. Okay, SpongeBob, please hold that for me. Thank you. All right, then. Let's start adding bees. So, number one, the next biggest bee after these two is right down here, just barely poking into the space. We can't even really see the wings. So I just basically got to copy what I've done there and maybe make it a little smaller. Oh, it's about the same size. It's so hard. I'm going to make it a little smaller because we want this bee to be on a lower plane. That's why it's smaller. Oh, Sarah, hello. So glad to see you. Oh, I was thinking the same thing today. How is it already Wednesday? No. Hey, that's so lucky, though. You just happened to log in and pop right into my stream by accident. Awesome. How are you doing? I'm so glad you could join me. Yay. Yeah, I can't believe it's Wednesday already either. It doesn't feel like it should be. It feels like it should only be Tuesday. But it's because I've been having a weird week. So I've been doing a lot of stuff that is not my usual Monday through Friday schedule. Alright, that's much better. Significantly smaller so that it looks like it could be on a lower plane. Of course, all of these are technically on the same plane because it's a drawing. So it's cleaning up. Trying to get the curve to look about the same as the other bees that we've got established here. So what I'm hoping is that for Patreon rewards, I could get the ink lines done. If I could get the ink lines done, that would make a wonderful work in progress step to send out to my Patreon members. I really don't want to have to send out anything that has blue because this blue is purposefully hard for digital imaging software and things. Not just software, the hardware too. It's difficult for digital imaging to pick up. So I've got to get this into something, even if it's not completely done inking, something farther than the blue pencil stage. Alright, I think this is pretty good. And then we need some antennae. So I'm doing this one more like this fellow. I think. Maybe I should do more like this one. Excuse me, I'm gonna get some more water. It's really dry in here for some reason. Aoife just did a big sigh. I don't know if that was in agreement or what. Which probably has nothing to do with what I just said, but... yeah, maybe I'll actually do more like this one. But there's not really room. We'll just go for it. I'm gonna have more of the head showing so that they're not the same type on both sides. Or, I didn't say that right. So that it's not the same type on the one side. So we can have some variety. That's what I'm trying to say. some of this graphite up. It's getting really dark overall, especially compared to the big ones. There we go. Keep wiping the paper right here because I think that there's like a hair on it, but it's not a hair, it's just an inclusion in the paper. Alright, we've got this little round bit here with that heart shape, but we can't really see it. It's kind of like this. Alright, and then antenna. Yay, another bee. Another bee in the scene. Ah, and I remembered I wasn't going to draw the wings, period. I was just going to add some indication of wings when I color this digitally. I want to remember that, so I'm going to write it down while I'm thinking of it. Because I was just thinking, oh, I never drew the wings on these two, and then I instantly remembered that I was purposefully not drawing the wings. I'll put add flying wings. Because for the two bees that are stationary in this scene, I'll draw their wings with ink. There. Yay! Got that to remember, to remind me. Got that to remember, remind me. Okay, next one. There's something about this bothering me compared to these, but maybe it's just because I'm looking at these from the other direction. Because overall, it's the same thing is happening with it and the other. Oh, I see what's bothering me. Ah, I see what's bothering me. I have an extra segment here. So the heart part should actually be visible. That's what was bothering me. Okay. I was gonna move on, but I just couldn't do it, and I'm glad because now I figured it out. So here's the head. Here's the head. Here's this. I think this was called the thorax. Can't remember. I think it was. And then this line right here is this line. But I was accidentally adding another segment instead. So I actually need to erase the sides too. That's why it wasn't looking right. Gotta trust myself. Even if I don't understand why it doesn't look right, if I feel like it doesn't look right, it probably doesn't. Now we need a line right here. And then this heart-shaped spot. And this is where the wings come from. And then I'm just exaggerating the heart shape. It really is rather heart-shaped in nature for the real bees. But I'm exaggerating it to make it extra cute for my chibi version. There. That's better. That's why it wasn't looking right. So much better. Hooray. I guess I didn't make it big enough though. Let's look at how much space is between the edge of the body and the edge of the heart, and then over here it's huge, so I need to make this bigger. I'll just keep working at it. I'll just keep working at it until it looks right. The other day I was thinking about how I originally thought I wanted to do animation. I really wanted to do some sort of storytelling. I didn't even realize it. That word wasn't in my head at the time. But when I first started college, everything I wanted to do had to do with storytelling. I wanted to get like a writing degree. The closest thing they had was communications though, and then I was like, oh, this is mostly like advertising. That's what they mean by communications. And then I went into graphic design thinking it was more going to be like illustration. I think because in my head I heard the word I heard the phrase, the term graphic design, and I equated it with graphic novel. That's not what it means at all. And I learned that pretty quickly. And I was like, no, this isn't what I want either. And then, and before I even went into college, I wanted to get into animation. But the schools that taught animation were way too expensive, ridiculously expensive. So that was immediately out of the running for options. Then finally I found illustration, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And that's the whole reason I live where I do now. I have lived in the college town I moved to ever since for the illustration degree. But the thing that made me think to tell you this just now is when I couldn't afford the animation degree, I realized, you know what, this is for the best anyway, because I hate drawing the same thing over and over and over, and that's what you have to do. To do the hand-drawn animation, which is what I would have wanted to do, that's what I would have wanted to learn. You have to draw one, and then you draw the next one, and it's slightly different. The next one, it's slightly different. And I didn't want to do that, and so illustration called to me because I was like, haha, I don't have to do that at all. Because you just make the one illustration, and maybe you have the same character, but it's not like the entire illustration, and then do it again with a very slight change. But I recently realized that I sort of do have to keep drawing over and over and over. It's just that it doesn't have to line up like it does for... It's not quite the same. For animation, it has to line up and look right. But I do have to draw over and over and over like I have been doing here for illustration as well. So you can't escape that. That's what I'm getting at here, is that you can't escape the draw over and over and over thing. Oh, it says there was a network error on Twitch. Hold on, let me see if it's just on my end or if it's still streaming. Might need to refresh my Twitch tab, because my OBS still says it's streaming. This might just be the Twitch website itself. Ah, yeah. Oh, good. I'm still on. Okay, so I've got the third B in here. Hooray! I wonder if I just put little check marks on here. I think I will. So this one's check, this one's check, and this one's check. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 more bees. I think I'll continue drawing them in size order because then it's easier to have enough room. If I draw the small ones first, I might draw them too big and then I won't have room for the bigger ones. So we will do it in this other way. So this bee is one of only 2 that are crossing the gutter. And I want to make sure that the head is still safe on one side. But we are sort of sacrificing to the gutter, as I have been saying. Sacrificing this bee to the gutter because when it's in book form, it's going to be sucked down in there to the spine, so you won't be able to see it all. Let me turn this. So I'm finding it much easier to draw the bees if I can draw it like this instead of have to turn my hand or something. We're going to turn this to the side. We don't want it on the same angle as this bee because we don't want a weird line. We want each bee doing their own work. So I'm going to turn it even more, have it like this. I'm going to make it small enough. It has to be smaller than this one. Say the whole body is this big. And this is one of only 2 that are actually on a flower. So I'm going to see about if we see any of the legs. Even maybe just a little bit. So here I have this little drawing that I did from a photo reference. You can see a little bit of legs. But that's only because we're seeing it from this side. So if I use this as an example and just draw this in the similar way, we'll have the bee kind of tilted off to the side. And that'll be nice too because we'll have a little bit of variety. Because most everybody in this scene is just flying around, so they're mostly just seeing straight down. But this person can be sort of at an angle gripping the flower. And we can have something a little different. Show the legs. So I'm going to try to set this up so I can see it better. But we want the head on this side. For some reason, I'm having a hard time drawing the head facing me. It's way easier if the head is facing away from me. I don't know why that is. I don't know why my brain is like, no, I can. Okay. So we'll have little leg sticking out. Wait, should we draw the rest of the body first? Let's draw the rest. I'm so excited about the legs, but let's draw the rest of the body first. So we're not really seeing the head because the head is angled down into the flower. So we're mostly seeing this. I cannot remember. Did I write it down? Thorax. Which part is thorax and which part is abdomen? I think thorax is the upper part. It's not written in here. Why can I never remember? I've looked it up before on stream and I still can't remember. Anyway, the middle part is the part we're going to be drawing. So maybe more like this fellow here. But just slightly tilted to the side. I'm just going to draw a guideline for myself. So we've got this heart bit in the middle. And then this bit on the top. And then this is all fuzzy wuzzy. Fuzzy wuzzy. And then we've got the segments. So it's these ones. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the very end was, so So there's side ones and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are the side ones. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then the little end part. The little bee booty. And we might not even see this part that much because we're going to be drawing the wings on top. I had to think about it really hard, but we're already almost to the halfway point of the stream. I did get started a few minutes late, but 2:30 my time is about when I start my first break. Well, I only stream 2 hours these days, so my break. And it's almost that time. I'm purposefully making the legs super tiny and simplified in order to really enhance that chibi look. Now I need some wings reference. They tuck their wings in. So I have some example here, but oh, there it goes. What is that? That must be the dryer. That's what that jingle was. When I did this sketch here, I have these legs almost touching, so maybe I should bring one of these back. And then I think I'm going to look at some actual reference images of bees again to see exactly how they should be placed, the wings. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Oh, I see what's bugging me. Whenever I say when it's bugging me, that's just a word I use. But when I'm drawing bugs, I become aware. Okay, so this... Wait, it does dip in right here. Okay, that was correct. I was like, that doesn't seem right, but that is right. That's what's happening right there. Okay. Okay, time to look at some bee images. I'll go straight to iNaturalist. Won't even try anything else. Okay. Let's see. iNaturalist. Boom. You know what? They say they have an app. I'm just gonna get that on my phone and see what that's like. Because maybe I can save searches or something. That'd be cool. So search iNaturalist in the Google Play Store. Here we go. Install. I don't know what folder to put it in. Got reading, documents, work. Guess I'll put it in work because I only use it for reference images. Here we go. Search hunts bumblebee. Oh, that's right. You have to write bumble space bee for it to work. Here. There we go. Search. That's cool. It defaults to my location. Ah, and look it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Number 4 on the list was exactly what I wanted to see. How do they fold up their wings? Ah, so you can't even see the bottom wing. Because they fold the wings up so tight, you can only see the top one. See, this is why. This is why it's good to look up reference image if you can. If it's available to you, go for it. Because even though I've looked at so many pictures of these bees, this wasn't important until now. And actually with this one, I can see the other leg, but the way I've drawn these legs super extremely tiny, let me hold it up so that you can actually see with this blue pencil. I've drawn the legs extremely tiny to try and enhance the adorable chibi look. And if the legs are this tiny, there's no way you'll be seeing the other legs on the other side of the body. They're just way too small compared to the rest of the body, so they'll be covered. They'd be probably around here is where the legs would be. So no matter what the pose, I think they would be covered up. But now, oh, and you can see this heart shape that I've been drawing. It's the fuzzy part right here. See? It's actually heart-shaped. So, that is also an excellent guide. The wings come all the way out, it seems like, past that heart shape, but it really helps to give me a reference point where to put the wing. So it's probably coming out from right around here. I'm going to try to get this. It's such an elegant shape. I'm going to do my best. It ends before the last segment. The ends of the wings, at least on this particular individual, the ends of the wings don't go past the body. It's not like with a bird where the wings often will go past and over on to the tail. These are ending at the last yellow segment, and then there's a black segment after that. So probably around here. Try to get that beautiful curve. Try to capture that. Oh, that's adorable. Looks great if I do say so myself. Erasing to make it more clear to myself what I'm keeping here. Yeah, I think actually the wing should come right there. Changing how I'm drawing that part. Sweet. Now I can see this pattern. It's harder to see in that reference that I'm looking at, but no problem because I already created this grid that I can look at. I don't need this one because it's not visible when they're tucked in like this, but we can use this to guide with the pattern on these wings. You can even see they're supposed to have this sort of ruffly edge, so I'm going to add that here. You can only see it on one wing, but I'll add that in. Oops, it's getting really muddy right here. Gotta erase it. Make this more clear. It's tough because this is way smaller than the wing that I drew for reference. I'm gonna have to edit it a little bit and not be as precise as I'd like because it's just not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. If you're hearing that licking noise, Chappie's licking her feet. So that's what that is. Chappie, I wish you wouldn't have that slop slop licking noise. Oh well, hopefully it's not being picked up on the mic. Alright, that's gonna have to be good enough. That looks pretty good. we're not drawing this naturalistically in the first place, so it's okay if we change things here and there. Oh, I see. I need to change this. I was like, how come this isn't lining up the way I expect? So I didn't draw this coming out far enough. Or I drew this part too big. That's what happened. Okay. This is so hard. This is kind of like drawing vehicles and stuff for me. It's so... Even though it's organic, there's a sort of precision to it, and it's tough. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. That's why it didn't make sense before. There. I made this lovely map for myself, and it's still hard to follow. There! I did it! Ha-ha! I got the beautiful wings on there, and now I've got to lighten them up a bit. There's a little bit too much blue. Oh, and that's perfect timing because it is break time. All right. Maybe if I lower this down, you'll be able to see it better, maybe. It'll probably get covered up anyway when I put my Be Right Back sign up, but I can sort of see the little legs and the wings. But it is time to take a break. I encourage everyone else to take a break too. If you can, get up and stretch. Go look at something off in the distance. If you're looking at a screen, and get a snack and water and anything else you need. I am going to put my Be Right Back on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I am all refreshed. I took a little bit longer than usual because it was brought to my attention that the daffodils have bloomed out front, and this weekend there was just a single little bud on this particular clump of daffodils. There was only a single bud. It wasn't open yet. And now there's like 50 bloomed daffodils, which just took like 3 days. And they are completely, it's just a full, vibrant, yellow explosion. So I had to go out there and take some pictures. I always got to take pictures of my flowers every year. They make me so happy. I always, it's the same flowers every year, but whatever. They're just as beautiful and just as picture worthy. So that's why it took a little bit longer than usual. All right. So this bee is done. I know you still can't see it because of the dang pencil. But trust me, it's done. Actually, I'm going to turn on the exposure on this secondary camera so that it matches the others. All right, so the next smallest bee is actually, I think, right here. It's a little smaller than this one, and then maybe there's another one about the same size over here, but I don't know if we're actually going to be able to fit it, because if I put a flower here, the bee that in the sketch, and I'll show you what I mean on this sketch. I didn't make this as small, I think, as it was meant to be in this sketch, or something, but anyway, there's not really room anymore. Because here's the speech bubble, and that's why I draw these speech bubbles, and you can't see it. That's why I draw these speech bubbles on the final sketch, so that I can make sure about stuff like this. So maybe we can have a little bit of a bee sticking out like behind it, but we don't have to draw a full bee for that one. All right. Going outside, I think, has triggered my allergies worse than usual, so I'm going to mute for a second so I can blow my nose. Okay, I'm back. Excuse me. Take a drink of water, too. Yep, the allergies have gotten so bad that a month or two ago, I actually started using the medicated eye drops again, and then this week I have started using the steroid nose spray again. It's not doing anything yet, but I think the nose spray is the kind of thing where you have to like use it for a couple weeks and it starts working. So we'll see if that makes any difference for me. I just always have allergies all the time. They're just extra bad, and I think it's because everything is blooming, everything is growing. I can see there's a maple tree outside my window, and it has got huge buds on it already. It's because it's been so warm this winter relative to previous winters. So everything is already like, well, it's basically spring now, so let's go. I mean, it is mid-March, or it's the first third of March, so it's definitely almost spring either way. But I don't feel like, especially looking at the maple tree, I don't feel like it's this far along. Those buds on it are huge. So I think that's why my allergies are going crazy right now. Anyway, that story aside, let's draw another bee here. This is another sacrificial bee, in that we're sacrificing it to the gutter. So when I print this as prints, as postcards for my patrons, they won't see any of this. This won't be lost. And that's why we're drawing it, because that way the illustration in and of itself works 100%. But when this is printed as a book, this bee is probably going to be almost entirely lost. All right, so this one is flying, so we'll just draw the same as one of these. So we'll just plop the heart on the back. I think that's a nice way to start, and then just make everything else fit that heart shape. this little black patch above it, which is part of the wings, I think. And then we've got the rows of the abdomen. I think this is the abdomen part. And that's all that fits on this one. Okay. And then we'll round them out because they're fuzzy. These segments are fuzzy. So I picked the super adorable bumblebee. And then the top part, the thorax, I think this is the thorax. Oh. Oh man. So I'm not the only one then. Well, hopefully he's not actually sick. Is it probably just allergies over there too? Yeah, I am almost like maybe I should try Allegro or one of those again, but those do nothing. I don't know what the deal is. They do nothing except for make me exhausted, and they still don't take my symptoms away. So I don't use that kind of stuff. Just use the very specific, like the eye drops, specifically for the eye symptoms, and the nose spray specifically for the nose symptoms. But the sort of general allergy medications don't work for me. Other than making me waste my entire day sleeping, which I don't need help with that. I get plenty of sleep. Don't think it's germs. Yep, just gotta be the spring. All the pollen and all the growth happening. And I think it's not even just pollen. I think that a lot of dirt gets disturbed from the things growing up out of it, you know? So it disturbs the dirt, so that gets brought up into the air. And then we've been getting, just the past couple days, it's a storm system or something is coming in. We got a little bit of sprinkles this morning of rain. So I think that probably contributes. If it's a huge downpour, that's different. Like the water is just constantly pushing everything into the ground. When it's just a little few sprinkles, I think that actually makes the particulates in the air worse because it just disturbs them, and then they can float around because the sprinkles are already gone. That's my theory about how my allergies are affected. Why it happens to me. Who knows how much of that is real, but I like thinking of that as how it is. Okay. Oh, it looks so cute. These are going to get easier and easier to draw too because they're just going to be smaller and smaller. And smaller means less detail to worry about. Okay, so we've got the main parts, and then we won't see the legs because they'll be sort of either dangling down or tucked in underneath. So we won't even see that. This is another flying fellow. So now we just need some antenna. So I'm going to draw this and this one's antenna a little off to the side to hopefully maybe indicate that they're not looking straight, they're looking a little to the side. So even though we can't see that, we can't see the head because it's hanging down, we can tell that it's not just looking straight. I don't want them to look like all a bunch of automatons and it's just like this cookie cutter bee. So using the antenna helps show that head is angled differently, is pointing in a different way. I'm just lightening up some of the blue. Okay, another bee done. I can't remember how many total bees I wanted to put in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I always lose count because I have so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-ish. Well, I will continue to check them off so that I don't forget which ones I've done. So I did this one, and then I just did this one. So next biggest look like these two. This one here and this one here. Actually look about the same size, or maybe this one is slightly bigger. So we'll see if we can fit any part of this bee, like maybe have a little bee bum sticking out from, because as you can see there's not much room right here. So, but we could have a little bit of a bee bum sticking out, or maybe we could have the bee traveling off. Maybe if I have it angled a different way. Right now it's just stood straight up. I guess that could work though. Have it way smaller so it's way farther down than these others. But I gotta remember this flower is gonna be here. So maybe I'll have it like this. Of course we could sort of just merge these. I guess what I wanted was to have a bee that's looking up. Maybe what I'll do is actually switch this. Right now it's on this side, but if we put it over here, there's more room. Could have it like right here. And we could still have that little bit of overlap, because overlap is good. Have a little bit of overlap with this speech bubble. Have the bee like right here. Let's do that. We can change it up a bit. And we can still have a bee facing straight up. So I was trying to have a wide variety. I do have a straight up bee right here. So maybe I'll have it turning this just a little bit. Just a little bit. This one, let's have the head showing some. So with these flying ones, we can't really show that much of the head either way, because the way they carry their heads, but we can have a little bit of something. Now I've got the speech bubble mapped out right here. I'm going to draw the whole bee. That way, if the speech bubble needs to be slightly different in shape, I don't have to spend time redrawing it later. Or adding to it later. Let's lighten up these lines a little bit. It's getting a little bit crazy. This fellow, let's put the antenna straight forward like, ooh, they are founding something good. Like, oh, we gotta go get that. Like, these antennae may as well be 2 exclamation points over their head. Yoink! They found something real good zooming off. It's not just fun to tell little stories like that. It helps me create variety in my scene. Because it would be so easy to just draw the same bee over and over and over and over and fill the space with like a cookie cutter of bees. But if I can tell a story, then I give them a little bit more personality, and then it naturally creates different looking bees throughout the scene. I'm trying to adjust my camera because it's slightly off. Why? That's what happens when you have a really adjustable camera. It actually makes it worse in some ways because you can't quite get it to be straight. Well, whatever. You can barely see anything anyway because of the blue pencil. Yeah, I'll hold this up so you can see. Maybe. Yeah, you can sort of see this one with the antenna sticking straight forward, reaching out toward whatever it has sensed. That's another one done. Let's put the check mark on. And I'll draw a line showing that I put this one over here. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I drew a line to indicate to myself that this one is done and it's actually over here. So the next smalls will be this one on the far right, coming into the frame. Right now it's matching up fairly well with this angle, which I don't want. So I'm going to turn it a little more and we'll have it point this way. And it's supposed to be even smaller. I'm trying to create a huge space from top to bottom, and we're looking at it from the very top, but we can see way down to the bottom. So we've got to make sure to keep making these smaller and smaller. Even though at this point I am hesitant to make them smaller because that means we lose more and more detail. And I'm really enjoying drawing these now that I've figured out the formula. Though it's not as if I don't enjoy drawing them until this point, but once you really lock it in and you don't have to think about it, it just becomes pure fun. Until that point, it's sort of like the fun of doing a puzzle, so you still have a little bit of tension there because you're trying to get it right and you're trying to make it work. So it's fun, but it is a slightly different kind of fun. This is just like pure joy to draw these bees now that I've figured them out. Yep, this one's so easy. So let's say this one's really looking for stuff. So we're going to have the antenna really far apart from each other, trying to sense anything in any direction, trying to find a flower that no one else has gotten to yet. So here's now this little fellow. Okay, another one done. On the right side, there's 3 more, sort of triangulating around this fellow. So like one right here. Then we gotta move, well, I guess I was trying to group, so I guess I will put this one here. I was gonna be like, no, let's make it more even, and also so we can triangulate this bee better, but I do think it would be better to have a little bit more grouping. I'm trying to avoid making everything super perfectly spaced, because so far that's what we've got. We've got everything super perfectly spaced. But if we put this other one next to here, and then we put this one here, and there's already one up here meant to be, even though this fellow was moved from over here, but this can become a group. Okay. Making really good progress. When we started today, we had 2 completed bees. I actually want to make this one a little more round. Let's make this one more round. This was the first one I drew. That's why it's not as round as the others, because I was really figuring it out, but there, that looks way better. Okay, so we started with these 2 bees, and now we've already added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, and we still have about half an hour left. So I think we should be able to get the rest of these bees into the scene, because they're just getting smaller and smaller. In fact, it's hard to tell what the next smallest one is. Maybe this one over here. So let's do this one. Don't want exactly the same angle, so let's do an angle like this. While I'm at it, this one is meant to be grouped with another one that's even lower on the plane, so I'm just going to draw that other one while I'm at it. Really small, much lower. Man, I don't know what I did to my hand. It's been killing me for a little while. It feels the same. It doesn't feel swollen or anything. I did do a workout right before this, so maybe that was it. The ring fit workout, and there was a lot of front presses where you're really working your chest, but it also works your arms because you're pressing that ring in. So maybe my hand is tired from that. I'm just feeling it particularly right this second. This person will have their antenna kind of sticking up. Maybe they're sensing what's up above. Anything good up higher? and this person lifting their head up. Don't actually see the eyes. And now it's getting small enough, and I'm not going to draw the segments on the antenna. It's not good to force the detail in there, especially when it's getting so small, because it can, for one, it can just get muddy and then not really look like anything, not even the thing you're trying to make it look like. And then for two, it can bring undue attention to what is basically a supporting character. I'm trying to give everyone in this scene as much attention and put as much effort in, but that doesn't mean they're the star of the show. Alright, I finished a couple more. These two are done. So that means on this side we just have 3 left. And I think I was going for grouping right here with these. I just realized I don't have anybody flying in this direction. We've got to the left, but not to the bottom left. So I think I'm going to take this bee and turn them around. Have them aiming for this little space here. For this fellow, let's have one antenna more visible than the other one. Like maybe the other antenna is pointing downwards, so we've got a little less visible. So instead of being perfectly even, it's pointing down a little bit, which makes it look shorter from this point of view. So let's do this one next, then we'll have this group complete. I'm gonna make this be even tinier. It's just getting smaller and smaller. Alright, these are all about the same size, so it's hard to choose who to draw next, but we could put this bee, so it's not spaced quite like in the sketch, but we could put in another bee here, or maybe closer to the big one. Yeah, I like that better, how I have it in the sketch, closer to the big one. A little tiny bee right there. They're getting so small that in my brain, I keep thinking I'm drawing. Now for some reason my brain is like, oh, now we're drawing flies instead of drawing bees. I don't know why it keeps thinking that. No, they're still bees. They're just smaller. It's also getting tough. Drawing this small, the amount of... Oh! There goes the dryer again. During my break, the clothes weren't quite dry, so I turned the dryer back on. It's done again. 2 times in one stream. Well, at least 2 times. Maybe the clothes washer also went off, and I didn't notice. Anyway, that's what that was. To finish my thought from before, it's getting tougher because the bees are getting smaller, but the line size of my pencil is not smaller. So I don't have as much room to be sketchy. I have to be a little bit more precise, or, as I'm doing now, just erase because it got too jumbled. Another bee done. It'll be really great. So at this rate, yeah, there's no way we'll finish the blue pencil sketch, but might be able to at least finish the blue pencil sketch tomorrow. Because if today I finish the bees and start on some flowers, tomorrow finish the flowers, there shouldn't be anything else to do with lines. The rest I'll do with color. So we're making good progress. Alright, there's only one more bee on this side. It's this one here. Thinking about whether I want, it's kind of lonely over here. Of course, I do have these flowers and things. That's what these gray circles are. That's where flowers are meant to be. So I think I'll let the space remain for the flowers here, and I'll just draw this teeny tiny bee next to the speech bubble. So small, so small. The antennae have now been simplified to a single little U-like outline. We're not drawing segments now. We're not drawing the front and back half of it is just too small. Too small to draw such details. Boom! So now all the bees on this side are done. That means just 2 more on the left side. Guess I'll draw the top one first. Oh, I forgot this bee is meant to be on a flower, so I gotta draw the wings in. Alright. Actually, I wonder if I should redraw it a little bit so we got a little bit more of this side view like we do here. But maybe we don't need to do that. I could just draw the wings on it and it could just stay like that. It's okay. Maybe I'll angle it different. So this is really close to this angle. Let's try a different angle. Squeaky eraser. Beep, beep. Something like that. Yeah, that's all right. Let's do that. It's so quiet now that the washer and dryer are not running. It's kind of creepy. Oh, yikes, my hand. I think it's when I do this kind of motion. Like I was grabbing the paper. It's like right here. This is going to look so energetic. Right now it looks a bit static. But once I add that sort of vibrating line effect when I do the coloring, it's just going to explode with energy because we're going to have all of this going on everywhere on each of these bees in all different directions. I'm already sort of able to see it in my mind's eye. Okay, let's continue on. I think there's only one more bee. So we just added this one. So all that's left is this one down here. Oh, just got my 10 minute 10-minute warning. It's almost time for live stream follow-up time. All right. So there's a lot less room. Time flies. Just like these bumblebees. No, it does though. I'm surprised. And I've been feeling like this may seem easy, but this is actually pretty hard mentally to do, to keep drawing a bee and then just draw another bee. Let's draw another bee. It's actually pretty hard. So I'm actually surprised that the time has gone by so fast. Because it feels like, oh, I'll never finish all these bees. But no, here we are doing the last one with 10 minutes to go. So perfect timing. So I'm thinking about this little fellow. In the sketch, there's plenty of room. But in the actual drawing, which I will hold up so maybe you can see, there's not actually that much room left. I think I ended up drawing this one bigger than I thought, and maybe this one bigger than I thought, and there's not much breathing room here, and there's supposed to be flowers in this area as well. So maybe instead of looking at my composition sketch, I'm going to look at this scene that's the final drawing. See where it looks like I might add another bee, or maybe we don't need one more bee. I mean, if we have a big thistle here, and then a couple smaller ones, because they grow on a stalk and they bloom out this and higher. The same stalk will have multiple flowers on it, or at least that's what I remember. It might be something different, like multiple stalks and this one's shorter and this one's taller. Either way, there's flowers at different height with this thistle. We do have a lot of energy already over here, so maybe we don't need another bee over here. Maybe we need one over here, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then say 8 because there's 2 back halves on this side. And then on this side we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 front halves, so we could say 6. So yeah, it might be better to put another bee on this side. And there's just supposed to be a little one anyway. Well, where do I want to put it if I do? This space is calling to me. There's not as much going on over here. Could have a little bit more grouping and have another one right here. So these are relatively evenly spaced, and I was trying to avoid that. So if we have like another bee right here. Although they're really close to each other, I might get tangled up in each other's wings. That's the thing. I'm trying to leave room logistically for their wings to make sense. But if this one's on a flower, we could have another one being on a flower. I'm going to write this down. On flower. On flower. And then right here I have the indication of a flower. So if this one's on a flower and this one's flying by, that makes a little bit more sense. Because this one's wings can be tucked in. Maybe I'll change the angle too then. Yes. I can't just plop another bee on the scene. It's got to work for the overall, excuse me, the overall composition and everything. So yeah, let's say this fellow's, we'll put him here. Just a little bit farther off to the side, and they'll be on a flower. Since they're on a flower this time, I will show their legs like I did with this one in the middle. With a little tiny, they're going to be so small because this is even smaller than the one I drew before. And the back legs. Whee! Little teeny tiny back legs. Oops, I'm dropping my stuff. Got to erase these lines here so I can draw the wings in. Oh, and I need to draw the wings in on there too. Okay. And I won't draw all that fancy sort of web-like effect because it's too small. Just like I said earlier, trying to add too much detail in a very small area can actually be detrimental to the overall piece instead of helpful. Let's see this fellow, we can see a little bit of their head. But the antennae are pointing down because they're searching for pollen and stuff. All the goodies that they search for inside of a flower. Let me make a note on my sketch. I'm just going to put a check mark on this one and put a line that says over here and on flower. So now we have 3 on flowers instead of just 2. Oh, only a couple minutes left. Well, I'll try to get these wings on this one and call it good for today. This one's a little bigger, so I'm just going to do a sort of really basic indication of this webbing or veins or whatever you would call it. Just a couple little marks, not anything near what I was doing before. So I think you can see that. Just a few. But this one's even tinier, so this one does not get any of those marks at all. I think I'm going to change the way I drew the wing on this side though for this one. Need to stick out a little bit more than that. There, that's better. Yay! Oh, and perfect timing. What do you know? Let's put a little bit of them up. So it's this perfect timing to end for today, and we can pick up tomorrow. I'll just literally leave everything as is. I won't even move it, but we'll see if I can get you a little glance at what I worked on today. If it wants to focus, it doesn't want to focus, but if I hold up the paper, you can sort of see all these blue line drawings. Let's see, where's another one? Oh, this way. We added so many bees today. I think now I can do a final head count too. I was having so much trouble trying to count them all on my sketch, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 bees in this scene. I'm pretty sure that is a new high record for how many animals in a scene in one of my animal onomatopoeia pieces. I think the biggest amount I had before was 9. I think I did 9 cows. Because I believe what I had was 3 mommy cows and 2 babies each. So then that was 9. Anyway, this is where I will call it good for today. Be done working. And there's only a couple of us here today, so let's not raid. I realize there is a nice way to determine whether it's worthwhile to do a raid or not. Twitch actually has an achievement for raiding with a certain party number. So I'm going to be aiming for that from now on. If we have, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a party of 5 or something. So if we have 5 or more, then we'll see who we can raid. But if not, we'll take it easy and just call it quits. So we're going to do that today. Just leave off here and go and do whatever we want. I will be back tomorrow at the normal streaming time, picking right back up with this illustration. I hope to see you then. But even if not, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching.